The sun was setting behind the hills, pouring golden light over the sleepy town of Windermere. On the edge of the town, past the stone bridge and the willow trees, there stood an old post office. It hadn't been in service for decades. Its red paint was peeling, the windows clouded with dust. Yet every evening, exactly at 6, a young woman named Sophia would come and sit on its steps, holding a letter in her hand. No one knew who she wrote to. No one dared ask. The townspeople had created their own stories. Some said she waited for a lost lover, others whispered about a soldier who never came home. But Sophia said nothing. She just smiled softly and watched the sun disappear behind the hills. Across town, Daniel lived alone in a small apartment above the bakery. He was a quiet man, known for fixing clocks and repairing broken watches. His life ticked steadily like the gears he worked with, predictable, silent, unremarkable. Yet every evening, he watched Sophia from a distance, wondering what sorrow or hope brought her to that same place, that same hour. One day, the winds grew strong, clouds gathered, rain was coming. Sophia was already there, sitting on the post office steps, her hair flying wildly in the wind, her dress clinging to her skin. The letter trembled in her hands. Daniel stood across the street, heart pounding, debating with himself. Something deep inside him, older than fear, stronger than caution, pushed him forward. He crossed the road, the rain beginning to fall in heavy, cold drops. Sophia looked up, startled, as he approached. "You'll catch a cold," Daniel said awkwardly, water running down his face. She smiled, a little sadly. "It doesn't matter." He hesitated, then sat beside her, rain soaking his jacket. They sat like that for a long moment, not speaking, letting the rain wash over them. Finally, Daniel asked, "Who are you waiting for?" Sophia looked down at the letter in her lap, her fingers tracing the edges. "My fiancé," she said. "James." Daniel nodded, unsure what to say. "He left 3 years ago," she continued, her voice barely a whisper. "Went across the sea for work, promised he would write every week." Her voice broke. "He never did." Daniel felt his throat tighten. "I wrote to him every day," she said. "Every single day. But I never sent them. They're all here." She lifted the letter in her hand. "This was supposed to be the last one." Daniel swallowed. Maybe he never got the chance to write back." Sophia gave a small, hollow laugh. "Maybe." The rain grew heavier. Thunder rumbled. Without thinking, Daniel reached out and covered her hand with his. For a moment, she froze. Then she let herself lean against him, her head on his shoulder. Neither spoke. The world around them blurred into gray and gold, and the soft, steady beat of the rain. It wasn't love. Not yet. It was something smaller, something gentler. A beginning. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Daniel would still fix clocks and watches during the day, but every evening he would walk Sophia home. They spoke about books, about music, about dreams that hadn't come true. Little by little, Sophia's laughter returned, quiet at first, like a bird testing its wings. One morning, Sophia came to the bakery with a box. Inside were hundreds of unsent letters tied with a red ribbon. "I'm ready," she said. Daniel smiled. "Ready for what?" "To let go," she said, her voice trembling with hope. Together, they went to the old post office. Sophia placed the box gently on the counter, where once letters had been weighed and stamped and sent across oceans. She lit a small candle. One by one, they burned the letters, watching the smoke carry her words into the sky. It wasn't sadness that filled Sophia's eyes anymore. It was peace. Outside, the sun broke through the clouds. Sophia turned to Daniel, smiling, really smiling for the first time in years. And Daniel realized then that love doesn't always arrive in thunderclaps or crashing waves. Sometimes it comes quietly, like the ticking of a clock, steady and true. A second chance, a quiet beginning. Under the brightening sky, with ash swirling around them like snow, Daniel took Sophia's hand, not to save her, not to fix her, but simply to walk.